Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kamran. So in my previous videos, in almost every videos, I have mentioned about JSX, how we use JSX in our React application or React component. So in this video, we are going to dive deep in what is JSX and why we use JSX instead of normal HTML. So let's begin. So let's open one of our components. So let's take component body.js. So I will be talking about this component because at this time, this is the component which is rendered at my UI. See, so here this part is known as JSX, which is returned in a functional components. So you will say that this is some simple HTML. Why we say is as JSX? So first we will know what is JSX. So JSX is simply JavaScript extension. Wait, what it is? It is an extension for a JavaScript to understand HTML part. In short, React.js understands only the JavaScript part, and we want to render our HTML part in the application. So to do that, we convert our HTML to a JavaScript using JSX. I hope this clears the definition of JSX for you. Let's see if we have any other options to render HTML in our component. Yes, we have this. So instead of using JSX, we will use React create element method. So here I will say return React dot create element, and into which we have to pass 3 parameters. The first will be the name of the element which we want to render. Let's say it should be div, and the second will be the attributes of the element which we want to render. So let's say we want to add the ID attribute in this div. So ID can be my div, and the third parameter will be the child of this element. So let's say we want to render some text inside this div. So we will say child text. So we will see the output. Here you can see this, we have this child text over here. So in this method we can also create the hierarchy of the elements. So let's say if we want h1 tag inside this div, so what we will do, so instead of putting direct text into this third parameter, we will again create an element using react.createElement, and in this also we have to pass these 3 parameters. So let's say h1, and the second parameter will be the list of attributes we want to pass. So here we will keep it null, and the third attribute will be the content of this element. So here we will pass content. So save it and we go to browser. So here we will inspect this element, and we will see that we have this div whose ID is my div, and inside that we have h1 tag, and the content of this h1 tag is content. So basically this gives you an idea how to create or render an HTML inside a React component with or without using JSX. I personally always prefer using JSX, and it is so obvious that it is easy. Now we have talked about JSX. Now we will be talking about styling in React.js components. So we want to add some style to the element in this component. So let's undo this, and we will use JSX only for now. To style a React component, we have multiple options. Like we can directly use CSS in JS, which is in our JSX. Like simply you can write here style equals to, and you can use double curly braces, and inside that you can directly say background and color. You can whatever you want to choose. I will give it red. So how exactly does it works? So here you can see that inside a single curly braces we have an object which defines a background and its value. So basically we have to pass an object with all the style properties inside this curly braces. So let's see the output. So here you can see the background is been red now. So this styling you can also provide explicitly. So remove this from here and define a variable over here, const div style, and in that define an object and pass that background as red and height as 400 pixels and width as 200 pixels. Save it and pass this constant inside this style. Save the file and go to browser. So here you can see the height and the width of this body is fixed to 400 into 200. So we can pass the CSS from an external file as well. To do that, all we have to do is to create a new file as a whatever name you want to give, and .module.css. Let's create style.module.css over here, and we will pass this div style inside that. So this file will be just a CSS file which we create generally. So here we will pass .css for the .styles class, and inside this we will make few changes, like we will remove this comma and we will put colon over here, and we can remove this string as well. Instead of that, we will just put red, and pixels as well we can remove and put directly. So now we have created our CSS for this particular class, and now we have to pass this class to our element. So we will remove this variable. So here we have to keep in mind that we can't use class attribute in element in JSX like we use in HTML, as class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript. Instead of that, we will use class name. So these are small differences which we will come across between HTML and JSX. So now we have to pass the class name over here. So for that, we will import our style module file. So import styles from styles.module.css. Now we can add the class from styles. So here we will add styles dot and the name of the class, that is div style. Save it. Let's see the change on the browser. Okay, we misspelled styles. So here it is style.module.css. So here we can see the style has been applied to the bodied element. So now you have an idea about how to apply a style to a JSX elements. If my videos are helping you to understand the concepts of React.js, please like the video and do subscribe to my channel, and share with the other developers as well. Happy coding everyone. See you in the next video.